We pledge love and loyalty to we country SaLone. My how we there, my how we born. We sweet SaLone. We not for make this country fall. Mama SaLone.
A critical awakening in Sierra Leone. The unintended lessons of Julius Maada Bio's presidency. When Julius Maada Bio became president in 2018, he promised a new direction, focused on education, justice, unity, and inclusive development. His eloquent speeches inspired hope in a nation hungry for change. However, as his presidency has unfolded, a different story has emerged, marked not by fulfilled promises, but by deepening economic hardship, growing insecurity, and widespread public disillusionment. One of the most alarming developments under Bio's leadership is the rise of Sierra Leone as a hub for drug trafficking, particularly the spread of Kush, a dangerous synthetic drug. This substance is destroying lives, especially among the youth, and has overwhelmed families and communities. Allegations of official complicity and ineffective law enforcement have led many to describe Sierra Leone as evolving into a narco state, where criminal networks thrive alongside weakened state institutions. Economically, Sierra Leone is trapped in stagflation, a combination of high inflation and low economic growth. Prices for essentials such as food, fuel, and transportation have soared, while wages remain stagnant and youth unemployment continues to climb. The government's reliance on donor funding and external loans has not translated into local economic empowerment or job creation. Many citizens are now forced to make painful choices just to survive, eroding trust in state leadership and exposing the limits of government policies. Public services have also deteriorated. The much publicized free quality education program suffers from overcrowded classrooms, unpaid teachers, and inadequate resources. The gap between the government's promises and the lived reality of the population has grown ever wider. Despite this grim outlook, a new form of awareness is emerging. Across the country, especially among the youth and professionals, there is a growing sense of political consciousness and civic engagement. Citizens are becoming more vocal, organizing protests, and demanding accountability from leaders. The protests in 2022, though marred by violence, reflected a collective demand for dignity, justice, and meaningful governance. In this context, President Bio's greatest legacy may be the unintended political awakening of the people. His administration's failures have taught Sierra Leoneans to think critically about leadership and governance. They are learning that true development must be people-driven and grounded in action, not rhetoric. This rising consciousness may yet become the foundation for a more accountable and citizen-led future for Sierra Leone.
Yes, humbled them. Good evening, good afternoon, good day, wherever on a day. Life is a choice. I'll repeat. Life is a choice. It's a path where we willfully choose. And whilst we are here in life, there are things we do where now by choice. These are some of the realities where them fail for teach we. And this now one of the reasons why when things happen, we not dey look at the root cause of the problem. We dey look at the result of the root cause. In Sierra Leone, politics don't become an occupation. Politics don't become the only thing where people then focus on. On Monday, there was a general elections in Norway. I left my house at 2 o'clock. By 20 after 2, I don't vote done. I return back in my house before 3 o'clock. Before 11 p.m., the results of the elections were all over the place for people to see. Norway geographically is far bigger than Sierra Leone. Norway demographically gets a smaller population than Sierra Leone by a few 100,000. Yes, we go on for argue, say Norway an advanced country, but Norway not just grappy advanced. Norway was made into an advanced country by choice. Norway was made into an advanced country by the mentality of the people we call themselves Norwegian. Norway was made into an advanced country by the perception of the people we call themselves Norwegians. Norway was made into an advanced country by the attitudes of the people we call themselves Norwegians. Magic exists, but magic does not happen from outside. It comes from within us. Me and you, we get the ability for sit down quietly, think, plan, and do something where nobody will ever do, then go call it magic. The choice to do things or not to do things, the choice for sit down, think, and plan properly, the choice for sit down, say, okay, now just sit down and they blame. It's up to us. Sierra Leone get far more resources. And why they say resources, I know they talk about minerals alone. We get far more resources than we they see. Till everybody they talk about Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, they close to the Sahara Desert, na Sahel region. Water safe na problem for them. Forget. If not to say the Niger River pass near their country, they're not before they get water so. But Burkina Faso is more organized, and today everybody is praising Ibrahim Traore. Are we a people who will sit down and wait for manna from heaven? We not come with blame. We will see other person they do. How we sit down there they do? Why we will not for be so? Life is a choice. You choose between doing what is right, taking one step at a time to get it right, or sitting down, complaining, blaming, doing all the things where they increase your suffering. You get a choice between thinking about how you go get yourself independent for duty for do like better yourself, or you sit down wait for one patron for can make you what you want be, but that patron get for control and manipulate you and gaslight you. It's up to you. The Sierra Leonean choice, whether not by accident or not by design, is that we have decided to stop thinking. We have decided to stop planning. We have decided to stop doing anything that will make us what we want to be, but to be part of some group who will not say they do everything wrong, but still empty crumbs they can't away, let it be so. Today, I may seem to be talking in parables. I'm not. I tell you now the direct problems of Sierra Leone. It's the choice of the people of Sierra Leone to have Sierra Leone as it is today. If we choose for make them better, There are steps we should follow. We don't need for go to war. We don't need for take arms and ammunition. We don't need for cause and effect. There are steps we can follow. We will make them different and better for everybody. First and foremost, to make we able to achieve that, we get for decolonize our minds. We cannot be what we are and expect to make change happen. They happen. Then we don't colonize me for belief, say, change is only possible when an external influence come. Then we don't colonize me for belief, say, change is only possible when some external power can institute change. Change comes from within, and it comes from within each and every one of us, including me. How do we make this change happen? First and foremost, we get for look at what they happen today in Sierra Leone. Now look at the events where they happen. We look at the actors where they do the things that where they cause the events. Now we ask a question. These people doing all these things, are they different from us? Are they foreigners who came to Sierra Leone? Or are they part of us? The second question we'll get for ask is, why is it that one set of people go come, then do the same thing, another set come with all the promises so then they make so go come make things better. They are doing the same thing or worse. Is it an accident or is it by choice? We need for sit down and ask a lot of questions. And then questions they not for be directed at other people, if for be directed at us. Ask yourself, why is it that I am part of a society where the people seem not for one do, waiting for do, but instead, then they do them the other way, where they cause suffering for everybody, even include themselves for the things that then they prosper. Why should you be at the helm of affairs, but you always look unhappy? You always look stressed up. What is this big deal? We for stress you. What is this big deal? We for make you downcasted all the time. Are you working with some force we will not see with normal eyes? Is that force having or putting too much pressure on you? There are a lot of questions what we need for action as a review. But whilst we ask them questions here, let we examine we self. Let we look we self. Let we ask who say all this come out. On several occasions, I don't talk on here, I don't talk on no other platforms say, one, we problem not to politics, not to economics. Now we social psychology. The way we would think, the way we think we believe, how we they understand things and see them, and we attitudes lying wrong. That's number one. Number two, we not ever they think around how we go build trust. We they think around how we go build more mistrust. I will repeat this part. We not ever they sit down quietly for think around how we go build more trust in a society who say trust not there. But we they think around how to build more mistrust. As a matter of fact, we think say profitable for build mistrust. The time when we left Sierra Leone, 1998, they not been the billows. Then put metal na window, metal na domot. Then they put iron gate with high fence. Today, it is profitable. The builders are making money building prisons for the people because the people are engaged in building mistrust. Around me, there is no fence. There is no fence. The next 30 minutes drive, there is no fence you'll meet. As a matter of fact, fencing in this part of the world, not for secures, now decoration. Although something that they put, they make flower, then they and call them fence. In Sierra Leone, fencing is about institutionalizing mistrust. He never really was with friends. Even if mango can grow kills na net. Why do we have thieves in Sierra Leone? We'll not ever see to ask that question. Now God swear and say let them come for can be thief now. Or now we create the economic conditions of inequality will make them get for the good thief to survive. I know they justify crime, but one thing I know, the rate of crime in any society is proportional to the rate of inequality in the society. When a society decides, say, therefore be autocratic, now few forget everything, the rest for suffer, then you should expect high crime rates. So it's a choice we made. Okay? Life is a choice. It's a choice we made. We made a choice that we have to belong to the chosen few to get access to the resources, or if not, you suffer. And now they suffer. He said, get rights to life. So he said, they go thief because trouble. And today, they don't begin use them for profit. Now they armed robber, they go kill a priest. Nobody is asking a question. Was this an armed robbery? Were these people sent to commit a crime and cover it up as if it was armed robbery? Is it a political issue? We don't ask those questions in Sierra Leone. So the choice of having a wretched society, now where they make them. Things they happen all my life, they don't kill their father. That's the end of it. Nobody asks anymore. The choice we make is the product we get. This is what is called karma. The Arabs call it haka. They when I say hake, when they say hake. Sierra Leoneans get for wake up. We not get for wake up from the slumber. You know, all the problems of Sierra Leone get long historical roots. Then we come to the recent roots. With politics, the issue of having patrons in society, we put them together, and then they create the problems. I make today say politics, patrons, and problems. Politics. How do we call it, and why do we call it politics? Is it politics? You see, another thing we make mistake, pa. We think Western politics, Western outlook is what is good. Ours is not good. The second mistake they make is in our outlook, we not dey take wetin good, we dey take wetin dey keep we the top of the others. If Sierra Leone has problems with politics, it's because the politics of Sierra Leone is tailored after the Anglo-Saxon model. England, America, and they tell the world, say they get democracy. They are not democratic. Now, a modernized form of autocracy now in them get in other countries then they. And because the modernized form of autocracy don't they fail, we they see what in the happen other societies then they. Patronage don't take over America. And wherever there is patronage, there is destruction. The United Kingdom, because the autocracy don't they fail, now we don't get social problems on the rise. Racism, they're on the rise. Other things like that, they're on the rise. Because that class system, they haves and they have not, not they meet anymore. So there has to be friction. It's a willful choice we've made to follow those people because then we don't brainwash we not try for decolonize we minds, we still they think like them, we they appreciate them. After last election 2023, where they will not get results. Rather than people learn, you know, I say, what is the root of this? Well, American ambassador don't say this. American ambassador. Like to tell you how to run your democracy. We made a choice to continue to be colonized. So now we have a colonized system. Then get in place the mouth and they use. Naina then Tente Murta, Julius Madabio. One thing Sierra Leoneans get for wake up to. Julius Madabio has the support of those who want him there. And he will be there. Wake up to that fact. Atente Murta game then they play, huh? Not tell you now. Back in 2018, I've been in our group with them. They talk, I say, but me, I get me party now one man game. I say, me party name, not Tente Murta. Because by then I had known the game that was going on. And the game just a big. Gonna go cry and holler until thy kingdom come. Until then, done for use and dump them, he will be there. I tell you now, the first, will be the last. But that's notwithstanding the people of Sierra Leone, if they get the awareness, then get the realization, say, we are being held by our nose being carried into an abyss, then can stop the journey and retract them path. And they can do so non-violently. But it takes knowledge. And that's what you people hate. The Leonians hate knowledge. Any sound knowledge, they not own a place inside and they cause and fetter. And they get emotional massage. Everybody is there commenting. May God help Sierra Leone. May God help Sierra Leone. 1980. Robert Nestor Marley sang a song at the stadium in Harare on the day of independence of the Republic of Zimbabwe, after they had fought a long liberation war. And the key to it was emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. All this noise around politics, all the fighting around politics, now because we are mentally enslaved. You are a Kamara from Pujang. The other one is a Kamara from Bombali. You are a Koroma from Pujang. The other is a Koroma from Bombali. Because of two names were different. One calling himself APC, the other one calling himself SLPP. Una for engage in a battle. If una dey na social media, na for talk at each other. If una dey physically, na for send blows at each other. It's the exact hallmark of mental slavery. Una na tente rooted and then they lead una outside and one let una go. That is the thing Sierra Leoneans need. That's the thing Sierra Leoneans must pay attention to. How do we reverse this order of things? How do we reverse this order of things? And we want reverse am. What you go do for make sure say it work for we? Because another thing that can take blindfold una. Hello, drab them. Hello, drab foreign companies. I can drab them. Then go, then okay. I mean, we get and they go mine on other side. You tell them he said you are go sign contract for na lay lucky. They go ask let them get waiting for Giam. He give them cheap contract to them. And then they behave according to how they see una. The one they will get ethical standards, when they want carry another routes, and they tell them say no. We know they go that way. 2009, where they announced say them fair oil na Sierra Leone, a Norwegian company go there for go find oil, for go mine oil. Then they call themselves African Petroleum. Then go, then they do the survey, then they do the assessment for see how much it go cost them, then change of government come 2018. Then go ask them for bribe. Nine and tell them, say, we don't bribe people. Then close, then come out there. Because it's a culture in this part. You don't bribe for a business. If they sign a contract, let it be to the best advantage of the people, let them get within a profit from their resources. But they give bribe to any special person. The companies that were ready for bribe, then they did. Now, until they don't refuse for play game, then begin cost them now them from the lock. It's a choice we are making. And it's the product we are getting. And there are people in Sierra Leone who will listen to what I know, but left the man there, a stupid man. And so but I sit on the talk and tell things right from Norway. It's a choice. It's a choice. Some of us are not looking for validation or gratification. We only tell you the truth. If you listen, fine. If you don't listen, as they say in Swahili, shauri yako. I don't care. It's none of my business. I will do the best to give the ideas that they should be given for people to understand that our social psychology is wrong, that our way of understanding issues is wrong. But if you want to come down the lane of the cause and effect, what they call politics, I'm not going down that lane. I know better. If you want to can say, I for can label it to you, but make you understand what you are the talk. Or make you relate with me, then please don't. I don't need you. I am my own boss. I am not at war with anybody except myself. Every problem around me is my own creation. I am aware of that. I think on how to solve them. I don't go blaming and complaining. And I think that's what people should begin to understand, that in this life, we need to take bold steps for free ourselves spiritually so that we go able to relate in energies will not trap we into some low place. We need for wake up na Sierra Leone for understand say everything would go on. In as much as some of them come out way back in we history, we get the ability for change them. But we're not willing for change them. So whatever is going wrong now is our making because we're too relaxed. We feel so I not get anything for do. Now so God mark. God no mark nothing. God created you. He created every other person. He put all the resources there. He said, go into the world and take dominion over it. To make you take dominion over the world, you have to think properly. To make you take dominion over the world, you have to be constant and focused. To make you take dominion over the world, you have to understand, say no to you one day. Other people then they. You need them, they need you. For make una work together, let things work. But don't allow anybody to dominate you. There are a lot of things where we need for understand as Sierra Leone. And none of them not get connection on the things that will they blame. Corruption, bribery. They say we create them. If we're ready for stop them, they stop them. So then they create we. Poverty is a man-made condition. If we're ready for stop, how they stop them? So poverty create we. What we need for understand is why we they think the way we they think, how we can change them. If we're not able to change ourselves, how we can modernize them. Let's suit what we need for do now, so the greater majority will profit. Are we ready to do that? Are we ready to learn how to do that? Are we ready to move away from the spirit of vexation? Because part of the reason we make the country like this one are the spirit of vexation. The one that will vex most. Now then they come and preach to you, say they are cool. They are not cool. They preach all the things that create hate. Anybody who they preach hate, apostle will get vexation. Anybody where they look at voting for say against somebody else, apostle will they preach vexation. And he said vex, I make it they preach vexation. There is no way on earth where vexation don't solve the problems of mankind. Nowhere. Vexation, they always create more problems. And as a matter of fact, the people that already manipulate the human race, then they use vexation and fear to their advantage. And they create enmity. They want to vex by each other. So then go the middle, quietly they profit. And that's what we have in Sierra Leone. Look at Sierra Leone today. Understand Sierra Leone today. What do you see? Quiet connivance between all the politicians. Then go can't tell you now all kind cock and bull story. But they always see eye to eye, yeah? None of the way not the same company. If our money can they all the shape, all man get you. And then they go bigger oversee money come. Then sabi how the money they can when they can and they find out and they tell them, I'm over something they now for go like go get you. And then money then they would appear I get. They're not they deny you. I like you as ZPC or QRS party day. Way appear then they give you. Because that's the society. They wanna sit down and they blindfold now. The only they talk na social media. Some man they talk 24/7 on social media. They cause and effect for people that will not even know say they exist. That energy way they use, you know, go find way for use that energy for profit yourself or for change yourself. We have a long way to go, seriously. But the long way we can make a short if we begin try for learn what we need for learn, understand what we need for understand, and work with what we need for work with, let things go before. We always say, we politicians, them, we politicians. Yes, we politicians, they know they do things correct. But we don't ever ask why. We don't ever ask why they know they do things correct. Who are we blaming for what is going wrong in Sierra Leone? Is it the politicians alone, or is it all of us? Then politicians say, oh, they complain, but outside them born, outside them grow up. Can they come from other country? Then come down with one spacecraft or helicopter. If all the answer are no, then question I mean no. Then how come then people are born middle we, then grow middle we, but then different from we? How come? Don't we see we are all the same people? Don't we see that that politician who they point to, now we, a FIBA, if we're ready for change, Sierra Leone, we can change them. If we're not ready for change them, well, let's keep talking. We get a lot for do. But whatever we get for do, we get for individually sit down and ask ourselves the right questions. We get a lot for do. But whatever we get for do, we get for individually sit down and think about the right approach. But sit down with the point, the blame, the cause. You're not going to change anything. You're not going to change anything. In fact, it's going to get worse because rather than we look at how to solve the problem, we sustain the problem by creating more division, more hate, more acrimony, more of everything. We go keep we in the condition all day or make we deteriorate more. It's a choice we have to make. I say everything not choice. It's a choice we have to make. We either make it now and build a nation, or we don't make it and expect a destroyed nation. Already, without abuse and misuse, the chances for develop. That one I want to get clear. With chances for develop in the next century has been abused and misused. The only thing we go make we able to commodity now because maybe in the next 3 to 5 years we take conscious steps for come with complete things them we go make we turn around wetin they be and not do them with any force. Because if we use any force for make change now, everything they collapse. It therefore be consistent, steady, and sustained effort. And that means if we look outside, what we normally they look at. Because for most people, when you talk about change, then go, oh, and this went for cow, this not the school system. What about those who are not in the school system? Don't they matter? They not they contribute to the trouble within a society. We've carried this as a government policy. What about the people who don't know about government policy? Don't they matter? Can't we find a way to talk to them? And the other thing we'll get for left for do na Sierra Leone. Government policy does not give anybody the right for misuse and abuse somebody in human rights. Make checkpoint. Then say forget ID card. If you not pay, we will do it. You don't have anything to do the person. Right? No, we didn't get ID card. I didn't take it. It's my choice. I get enough IDs for me cannot take ID card. Secondly, how do you expect people to get the money to pay for an ID card when the wage system in the country, the economic circulation of wealth in the country is next to zero? Then go thief for can buy ID card, so you go get money for put in your pocket, buy expensive cars, fly all over the world. Is that the way to implement policies? You see, we get to look at research and ask several questions. Some of us are still talking, not because we want recognition or whatever. If I want to be selfish as some of you guys, I'll sit here quietly, read my books, write my books, do whatever I have to do, make more money quietly. But that's not the part, because we are passing here on this planet called Earth. We came here by choice. We came for a purpose. Most of you don't know what you came here for. That's why you live life of doing all the kind of nonsense you do, thief and do all kind of thing. You die, you left a broken generation. The developed world, people then they don't understand, say, them purpose, for can contribute to make this place a better place. They spend a whole lifetime doing that. Some don't even ask for rewards for that. It was stupid and stupid. If you have the opportunity of serving your people, do it to make a difference. Don't do it to keep your people in a mess. If you do that, then you don't know the purpose of passing here. We need to do a lot, but most of it comes from moving ourselves out of ignorance of who we are, moving ourselves out of the ignorance of assumptions. We assume we are what we are not, and moving ourselves to understand the potentialities and possibilities around us as a people. We don't need to have diamonds and gold or what have you to make we get potentialities and possibilities. There are countries without those minerals. Then get the potentialities and possibilities, and then they make use of them. Then they make progress. We then in a day for be complement, for make we use them for achieve the potentialities and possibilities, but we don't. Instead, we dey play all kind game, create all kind trouble, then we open the mouth, foreigners then they take, then thing then they then go make better thing with them. Sierra Leoneans, you need to wake up. When I dey sleep, when I need to wake up. Waking up no mean say for go curse them, but that might be the curse yourself, not curse them. Just say, okay, but paddy, this thing dey happen. Let we done with that now. Let's see how we can sit down. Let's plan waiting for do going forward. Yes, it is possible. A lot of people think that is impossible. It's not. It's possible. It's only possible if we put aside the egoistic tendencies, the superiority tendency, us versus them tendencies. So as I can always say, our problem is within our social psychology. Our problem is within the way we think, perceive, and understand life, the attitudes. We have a lot to do, but it's not a difficult task. It's not a difficult task if we are ready to do it. It may seem difficult in the beginning, but it is not. Who's this calling me? Hello? Somebody was calling, I don't know that not the person. He cut off immediately. So as I was saying, it may seem to be a difficult task, but it is not a difficult task. Now, teachers are on strike all over the country. This thing don't they go on like forever. I am a teacher, a professional teacher. I teach na Sierra Leone 13 years. That 13 years we teach na Sierra Leone, the same problem today be always steady. At one point in time, I entered the union with other people. We came with certain recommendations, hoping to solve the problem. How they pass with them, how they not pass with them. Today, the institutions that were created have become political cash box for the people. The Teaching Service Commission will be recommended in 1990-91. We then passed into law in 2011. Today it's a political cash box. All the appointees are members of a political party. NASIT, which came out of an idea I had, has never fulfilled any of the things I wished for it to have been made for. Let's face one fact. There is no way on earth where the wage would and they pay somebody enough for making live a comfortable life. Nowhere. Yes, there are people with high wages who may have, who are up in that bracket. But then high wages, then get consequences where then they come with, where they make that money not do for the person. They get for day on some social safety net system or credit system. If that man they earn $1 million per month, he want for live the life of somebody who they live $10 million per month. So you get for go into credit systems. He will look good while it's happening. But take that credit system away, everything comes to zero. That's why people can be very rich today. Tomorrow morning, you say they are homeless. NASIT, or whatever was the original idea, was that there should be a social safety net for ensure, say, members of the institution and get something they go fall back to if they need for get certain things done. That man don't work, he not get a salary for buy motor car. But if he's having a car is good for him, so he can go to the institution and say, "Bo, una stand guarantor for me, let get motor car." These institutions say, "Okay, let's talk to the banks." The banks then will say, "Well, how do I expect from Echo get money?" The institutions say, "We'll make sure so they collect the money." So I to go get the loan for the car and get on the loan. That man don't work. If he say get a right for get a house, a roof over head, you go to the institution, but I want us then say, "Okay, let's talk to this company or that company. Let we see how they can put together a package for you. Like get a mortgage, we will suit your wage. Then we go guarantee say they gather the money from you. You they pay to we like I they pay house rent, stay done for pay for the house." That was the first idea. The second idea was every contributing member, you forget assurance, say three, not more than three of him picking them, or get good university education if they want to. If they want to go into vocational or polytechnics, then forget the education. The institution for provide the money because the person they pay. Like I they do for insurance, no, no. Number three, health insurance. Members should have been able to access good health facilities because the institution should have prepared a package for make the members and get health insurance. You may want to ask, how would they have got the money to do all of these things? Yes, members are paying their contributions. Reinvest that money. Reinvest it in their interest. Make profits. Be transparent and accountable. Then use that money for build up the members. That was the original idea. I made it. I. If una see for make them increase salaries, if not salaries no more, the fact that Sierra Leone get an economy that is not producing, an economy that is more like a consumer economy, which means all the time the inflation levels get for high, with the import more than with the export. No wage in Sierra Leone will be enough for the people. Need social safety nets. Get these social safety nets to be occupied by people who are trustworthy. Get the social safety net to invest and reinvest so that they will create wealth. And that wealth, some of it can be plowed back to the members. Members should have access to loan to start small businesses, etc., etc. On a take on a well, now they microcredit. Microcredit is nonsense. Of it, they come up from the fact that we know they think straight necessarily, we know they think correct. Everything na pen then. May God help Sierra Leone. May God help Sierra Leone. Because we've never sat down to look at solutions. We've always sat down to examine problems, talk about them, grumble about them, and that's the end of it. God don't curse me. And so for the learned hopelessness. I know with psychology. The people of Sierra Leone need for wake up. We need for wake up. I will take calls them from now. Feel free to call, please. Please feel free to call. Let's have a conversation around what is to be done to make Sierra Leone a better place. We are not calling, then I think I'll call it a day. This is the weekend. Let me go and have some rest. Now I see everybody's quiet, and so let's call it a day.
We pledge love and loyalty to we country SaLone. My how we there, my how we born. We sweet SaLone. We not for make this country fall. Mama SaLone.
A critical awakening in Sierra Leone. The unintended lessons of Julius Maada Bio's presidency. When Julius Maada Bio became president in 2018, he promised a new direction, focused on education, justice, unity, and inclusive development. His eloquent speeches inspired hope in a nation hungry for change. However, as his presidency has unfolded, a different story has emerged, marked not by fulfilled promises, but by deepening economic hardship, growing insecurity, and widespread public disillusionment. One of the most alarming developments under Bio's leadership is the rise of Sierra Leone as a hub for drug trafficking, particularly the spread of Kush, a dangerous synthetic drug. This substance is destroying lives, especially among the youth, and has overwhelmed families and communities. Allegations of official complicity and ineffective law enforcement have led many to describe Sierra Leone as evolving into a narco state, where criminal networks thrive alongside weakened state institutions. Economically, Sierra Leone is trapped in stagflation, a combination of high inflation and low economic growth. Prices for essentials such as food, fuel, and transportation have soared, while wages remain stagnant and youth unemployment continues to climb. The government's reliance on donor funding and external loans has not translated into local economic empowerment or job creation. Many citizens are now forced to make painful choices just to survive, eroding trust in state leadership and exposing the limits of government policies. Public services have also deteriorated. The much publicized free quality education program suffers from overcrowded classrooms, unpaid teachers, and inadequate resources. The gap between the government's promises and the lived reality of the population has grown ever wider. Despite this grim outlook, a new form of awareness is emerging. Across the country, especially among the youth and professionals, there is a growing sense of political consciousness and civic engagement. Citizens are becoming more vocal, organizing protests and demanding accountability from leaders. The protests in 2022, though marred by violence, reflected a collective demand for dignity, justice, and meaningful governance. In this context, President Bio's greatest legacy may be the unintended political awakening of the people. His administration's failures have taught Sierra Leoneans to think critically about leadership and governance. They are learning that true development must be people-driven and grounded in action, not rhetoric. This rising consciousness may yet become the foundation for a more accountable and citizen-led future for Sierra Leone.
What happens when truth becomes a tool, not a right? In Sierra Leone, confusion isn't just chaos, it's strategy. When leaders deny what you live, gaslight your reality, and rewrite the past, who really holds the power? Tonight on Truth Unmasked, we expose the tactics, we name the games, we decode the lies. Don't just believe what they tell you. Ask why they want you to believe it.